Let's turn our attention back to here at home, and I'm afraid issues in the world of local politics. There's turmoil in the eThekwini council. It seems that 2 councillors have been paid for months without being at work. They haven't done a thing, but they're getting paid. One of them was arrested for murder and remanded in custody 10 months ago. The other stepped aside after being accused of a crime. Let's find out how in the world we got here. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is joining us this morning for that and the latest on this. And I imagine then ActionSA, I can see their placards behind you. Very vocal, very loud. They're not happy, I imagine.
Not happy at all, Gareth. If you remember, this happened last year where there was a drive-by shooting in eNCA. So we do understand that one of those councillors is now linked to that. But they're saying that you cannot pay over 500,000 rand to these councillors and they're not doing the work. So let's listen in now to, let's bring in ActionSA to speak to us about those issues. I mean, these are huge allegations. 2 councillors being paid for doing nothing.
Yeah, indeed. It is one of those situations that are really shocking. You never expect that our government will really look down on people, where these 2 councillors, with a serious accusation of murder, where one councillor from Ward 101 is actually in jail because couldn't get a bail since May last year. So now about 12 months now, this councillor is getting all the benefits. And the Speaker, I did ask in our last council meeting whether he can confirm that indeed this councillor is getting all the benefits, including the salary. And the Speaker did confirm on record during council meeting that indeed it's true. The councillor is getting a salary while in jail. And also the councillor from Ward 54 received bail in February last year, but it's on step aside from the ANC, whatever policy they call it. But the point is also Ward 54 councillor is inactive in terms of working with the communities because of step aside policy, but still getting paid till to date. It's more than 12 months for that councillor. So it tells you that we have an ANC here who is ignorant of the fact that we need to look at servicing our people. And these are ward councillors. And currently you have a situation where you have so much money paid to someone who is in jail. And also it talks to the issue of families that were affected because they are victims here. Can you imagine what it says to families of those who are victims along this process of these jail councillors? Because it then means someone is getting paid to kill your father. Someone is getting paid to kill your husband. It's just painful when you think of being a victim on this situation. But we are here to say to the Speaker of this municipality, he has powers according to SARS Act and the Code of Conduct, clearly state that when a councillor misses more than 3 meetings without an apology, it's immediate removal. So meaning the Speaker should have written to the MEC to remove these councillors, especially because as councillors from eThekwini, we've never had any apology being tabled before council. So meaning the Speaker can't really run away from his responsibility. We are saying to the Speaker today, we are calling on him to enforce the Act, to ensure that these councillors are removed from the payroll of this council, then allow residents to elect new councillors who can represent them.
I mean, when you talk about the fact that one is still on bail and the other is still inside, but that talks to the fact that court is still in process in this case. Could it be because they are not guilty until proven guilty, that they're still being paid?
It is true that indeed they are not proven guilty by a court of law, which we respect that in terms of the rule of law. But we're also here talking about the council policies and council rules, because we are saying if you read SARS Act in conjunction with the council standing rules, it clearly states that a councillor must submit the leave of absence if they are not going to attend the meeting. If you miss 3 meetings, the rules are clear. It doesn't say may, it says a speaker must remove a councillor. So it doesn't really give a speaker an option whether you can use a discretion, whether someone, because it's not for the Speaker to determine whether a person is found guilty or not guilty. The Speaker must enforce the rules of council, not what happens in court. It's a separate process. So the question is, as councillors in eThekwini, we've never received this, any leave from these councillors. The Speaker have never tabled those leave of absence. So we are saying to the Speaker, put aside the issue of step aside by the ANC. Put aside the councillor is being jailed and they're still not found guilty. But bottom line is they've missed more than 3 meetings. But also it's just, can explain how a councillor can really receive a salary. Let's say what councillor, not even a PR councillor, what councillor who's expected to be convening meeting. These are councillors expected to be ensuring that services are actually received by our communities. Now, which means by not removing these councillors, you are taking away the rights of residents in these 2 wards who have voted for these councillors to represent them. Now you are saying someone else must come and represent these communities, and we can't even hold PR councillors to account because they are not directly elected by the communities. So we are saying Ward 101 community deserve to have a councillor, but also beside the ANC as a party can still use Section 27 of the Trust Act as a party because it allows the party to withdraw membership of a councillor. So when someone have terminated membership from the party, they cease to be councillors. So there are many ways of removing these councillors because it actually puts the council to disrepute, and any party will actually realize that when a member is denied bail, it means judges have seen the seriousness of the case and how that person is linked to the case. Because if the evidence is truly dodgy, you will receive a bail. But if the evidence is tight, that's where you don't receive bail. So in this case, we are saying there are 2 options. The ANC, if they're really serious about renewal, would have removed this councillor as a member of the ANC, but also the Speaker can also invoke the Rules of Order and Trust Act.
What kind of amount are we talking that they're getting at this point?
If you look at the total package of a councillor in eThekwini, you get more than 540,000 rand per annum, which is about 45,000 rand per month. That is received by each councillor in eThekwini. So this money means a councillor while sitting there is getting more than R1 million while in jail, and the other one will step aside. Combined, it means this council have actually wasted, because we call it wasteful expenditure, because we actually wasted more than R1 million on 2 councillors who are not doing their work as expected in terms of the law. So the communities are actually here deprived their right to services, and so much money is being paid. They should do other things, because if you are saying PR councillors should be doing this work, then this money should be providing services to communities than paying someone who's in jail.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is ActionSA. Of course, we are going to be speaking to Speaker. I believe he is currently waiting to speak to us, Gareth. But we do understand here that they are worried about wasteful expenditure. But we will find out, of course, from the Speaker how they're tackling that.
Yeah, exactly. How are they tackling that? It's an awful amount of money, and taxpayers not going to be happy to know that all of that is going to waste for 2 people who have actually not been doing their jobs at all. Nqobile Madlala, no doubts, we'll come back to you later as you continue to follow that story for us here on Newslink.